You know, this is really dangerous stuff that you guys do. I was reading your notes about how during your dive, the vessel became briefly wedged in some of the Titanic wreckage, and they were able to get you out. I mean, that's so scary, but how do you put that into the equation here of how surprising it is that this vessel has gone missing? You know, how touch and go this is, how risky it is.
Everyone understood that this is a very dangerous endeavor. I mean, that is accepted. Everyone that signed on accepted that element of danger. It's an experimental vessel. And again, it's like everything else. We want to expand boundaries. We want to stretch our limits, and you have to take risk. And, you know, if we did not take risk, we would still be paddling open water in canoes and with oars. We took risk. We sailed across open oceans. We've gone into outer space. We're now exploring inner space, which is the depths of the ocean. And I've got to tell you that, it's dangerous. But Stockton Rush was a visionary, and he did not take these people down there, you know, carelessly or recklessly. He was very careful and very methodical and tried to mitigate the risk as best he could. And I do resent, and I've said this several times today, I really resent the characterization of the people on these missions as tourists, a tourist sub. You can call them tourists. They're mission specialists, and they are expending their resources in support of scientific research, because Stockton Rush was a visionary that knew that the bottom of the sea is a fundamentally important part of the solution to climate change, finding lithium, finding all these elements on the bottom of the seafloor, finding out how to bring them up without desecrating the seafloor. That's part of the equation. That's part of his dream. And these people like the billionaire Englishman who's down there, they were investing their money. They wanted to see the Titanic. The Titanic is a draw. But it was a serious operation. They accepted the risk, and yeah, it's fundamentally dangerous.
What do you think happened?
We all accepted that. Well, I think no one knows what happened, but in terms of speculating, the most logical expectation or suspicion would be that they got stuck, or they got entangled in a fishing net, or they lost power and for whatever reason were not able to surface. I was in 2021, the first time I went down 2 years in a row. The first time I went down, we lost the thruster and we jettisoned our ballast, and it was very, very difficult to get the submersible at that depth under that intense pressure to start showing positive buoyancy. And there were a few minutes where, we only had one thruster, we were dumping weight, we dumped more weight, and on and on. Those pipes you're showing is because last year that painting on there was, my father died while I was out there, and he was an old sailor, and we left a memorial for him alongside the Titanic. And I'm hoping and praying that the Titan does not become another memorial, and the body count of 1,517 does not jump to 1,522. But again, the sands are running out, and I keep referring to Apollo 11. We said then, failure is not an option. Well, the thing that people forget is failure was an option with Apollo 11. They moved heaven and earth. They didn't accept failure, and they succeeded. And I know this is probably even more complicated in some ways and even more unlikely, but we have to make every effort as long as there is hope. As long as there is hope, we have to say failure is not an option. We have to accept any offer of help, and we have to go on to whatever lengths are possible to save their lives. These are wonderful people. Stockton Rush is a visionary. He's a genius. I don't know the other three men. I'm sure they're very special. P.H. Nargeolet is one of the most wonderful and warm human beings I've ever met, full of Gallic charm and just an incredible achievement. I mean, no one on Earth has done more in terms of deep diving than P.H. Their loss will impoverish the world.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.